Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Please be seated. You all know the drill. I'm going to let my colleagues introduce themselves, and then if I can remember, I've forgotten a couple of times today, let you all introduce yourselves, and then we'll, and your teacher, and then we'll get started with what promises to be an interesting discussion. Judge?
My name is Steve Levinson. I am a retired state Supreme Court justice from Hawaii.
Judge?
I'm Hank Chambers, and I'm a law professor from the University of Richmond.
And I'm Jerry Bass. I'm a district judge in the state of Oklahoma. And my colleagues and I, between us, have about 11, 12 years of experience doing this, and it has just been an absolute pleasure. So please introduce yourself.
I'm Ali Henriquez.
I'm Catherine Harold.
I'm Elise Watkins, and this is our teacher, Miss Rosie Heffernan.
Oh, okay. Welcome. This is Unit 5, and we were supposed to do question 3, but we didn't like it very much, so we changed it up. We're going to do it differently.
All right.
In fact, we don't want to do the Bill of Rights. We're going to go Article 2.
So relax, okay? This really is a fun and interesting question for your generation. We need procedures that translate the values of the Fourth Amendment with its warrant requirement into a new technological context. Do you agree or disagree with this claim by a legal scholar, and why? What values are inherent in the Fourth Amendment, and why are they important? Some scholars argue that the government can use surveillance data collection and data mining technologies for good purposes, such as keeping America safe from terrorists, preventing crime, and delivering social services. Do such uses outweigh possible negative ones? Why or why not? And you may begin.
The greatest danger to American freedom is a government that ignores the Constitution. The prophetic words of Thomas Jefferson foreshadowed the potential decrease of Fourth Amendment protections with the increase of technological advancements. We agree with Jack Balkin that procedures are necessary to restore the fundamental value of privacy. But we maintain that these new procedures must be derived from the original ideals of the Fourth Amendment. Historical ideals have eroded in the national surveillance state, where persons, papers, and effects have no expectation of privacy regarding DNA testing, business records, surveillance cameras, and data mining. Procedures regulating oversight, disclosure, and codes of conduct are necessary to monitor both government and private data gathering companies in order to ensure that Jefferson's warning does not come to fruition.
It is not the breaking of a man's doors and the rummaging of his drawers that constitutes offense, but the invasion of his right to personal security, liberty, and property. These words by Justice Joseph Bradley embody the inherent values that render the Fourth Amendment indispensable. Although this amendment explicitly protects against unreasonable searches and seizures and states criteria for warrants, the heart of this amendment lies in its protection of privacy, liberty, and property. This has been seen in cases such as Katz v. US, which recognize privacy outside the home, Indianapolis v. Edmond, which guaranteed liberty by outlawing random highway drug checkpoints, and Bond v. US, which secured property rights by protecting closed containers from search and seizure. In these instances, the Supreme Court affirmed the vital importance of these values in preserving limited government and rule of law. However, recent issues involving the Fourth Amendment's core values have challenged its very soul.
When credit card purchases, website visits, and cameras on roadways feed into centralized databases, there lies the potential of creating a gluttonous government that slowly devours the rights guaranteed by the Fourth Amendment. The emergence of data mining technology, which analyzes information, and surveillance data collection, which monitors actions, has created a double-edged sword. One edge combats national security threats, preempts epidemics, and aids law enforcement, while the other edge facilitates the creation of an Orwellian state. The negative repercussions of this invasive technology not only surpass any benefits promoted, but also invite a slippery slope for further government usurpations. 200 years of progress, manifested in wiretapping, aerial surveillance, and global positioning technology, are technically 200 steps backwards if we forget the essence of the Fourth Amendment and settle into democratic dementia. When words such as security and safety become the rationale for government violations of privacy, liberty, and property, then we must be reminded of Orwell's doublespeak and Benjamin Franklin's warning. When you give up liberty for law and order, you sacrifice both and gain neither.
So what new procedures are you suggesting?
Procedures such as prior disclosure, wherein private companies must disclose that the information being submitted by individuals to these companies may be accessible by the government through such actions as subpoenas instead of by warrants.
Additionally, it must be ensured that there is a neutral and detached magistrate issuing these warrants, as stated in the case of Coolidge v. New Hampshire, to ensure that the law enforcement officials are not arbitrarily getting warrants and searching unreasonably.
Moreover, in the analysis of the Fourth Amendment, we must take into account new expectations because the expectation of privacy established in CATS v. United States no longer encompasses enough of the expectations that would be interfered with by new technology, such as the reasonable expectation of anonymity and memory loss that we expect in public places, that with new camera systems such as the Ring of Steel that exists in London, that now there's a program to start a similar situation in southern Manhattan. Now, with that sort of potential for technology, the reasonable expectation of memory loss exists in the fact that an individual doesn't expect for any eyewitnesses to remember what they do in a public place for 20, 30 years. However, with
Is that a
camera,
reasonable expectation?